I think I've decided that Christopher Nolan is the MC Escher of movie directors. Dunkirk is the latest from director Christopher Nolan about a group of British and French soldiers who get trapped in the city of Dunkirk during the war. Now, of course, Nolan known for movies like The Prestige, Memento, the Dark Knight series, as well as Inception, Interstellar. Let's just say a lot of good movies. Does this one follow suit? Well, here's 5 things you might want to know about Dunkirk. Man, I really like the way Christopher Nolan's brain works. Now, he's doing something new here with going into a movie that is both a true story as well as a war story, which he hasn't really done. And I gotta be honest, I'm not sure if he completely succeeds. This is a brilliant film that I'm not sure I actually liked. Let's get into the details. This is a difficult one for me. Let's start with the obviously good stuff. The technical details in this are phenomenal. The visuals in this are incredible. It's beautiful. It's shot gorgeously. The sound design is brilliant in this. There's some special effects that involve like ticking clocks, those kind of things that really add a tension and also a metaphorical substance to kind of what's going on in this story and the way he's deciding to tell this story. All of those technical details are perfect here, and it's obvious that Nolan knows how to make a great film, at least technically. One of the other things I really love about Nolan, he is a genius at playing with time. He's done it since Memento, whether it be Interstellar or the timelines in Inception, and he does it here too, which is kind of interesting considering this is pretty much a straightforward war story, except for when you're dealing with Nolan, nothing is quote-unquote straightforward. So without giving anything away, this movie conceptually deals with the timing of events in a very creative and interesting way. And I love that. I love what it does to the tension. I love what it does to your mind because you're engaged in thinking about how the timing of everything works together. I think overall that's a real benefit. He really is so clever with how he puts his movies together, and he's also really clever with the material he chooses. This is a great story. If you've never heard the story of Dunkirk and what happened there, this is a brilliant way to experience it. He's dealing with great source material, and really every decision that he's making and how he's presenting this story is a decision to take a look at the broad and big picture of what's going on here. Every decision he makes with how he presents the characters, every decision with how he presents the moments and what happens here is so that you get an understanding of what is going on overall. It's the opposite to going granular, right? It's the opposite to taking a big event, let's say like Pearl Harbor, which there was a Pearl Harbor movie, and going small with it, zooming in on the characters and, kind of leaving the big thing in the background. Titanic did this too. The big things in the background, we're going to zoom in on the small things. This leaves the small things in the background and zooms out for the big thing. And it's different and it feels different through the entire thing. And I think that's a good thing. But that decision is not without consequence. And here's where we get to the tricky part of Dunkirk. I thought about this so long after the movie last night, which is always a good thing. I'm going to go with a couple yellows for the end because of these decisions he's making that I think could throw many people off when watching this movie. First of all, there isn't any character development. I shouldn't say any, but there's very little character development. Again, that's a decision to go broad instead of specific. These characters might as well be anonymous soldiers. Like, you don't really know anything about them. We're dependent in storytelling on knowing about the characters so that we can care about them more, so that we feel the loss more when we lose someone. We lose people in this movie, and I'm not really sure we feel it. Now, this is something that if you're thinking about it as a grand art experiment, you can kind of let go. But as somebody who loves storytelling, it did kind of bother me a little bit. It's interesting because usually when I give a yellow on something, it's because I can deal with it, but others might not like it. This is one of those that I think others will probably enjoy, but it really kind of bothered me. I wanted to know more about these characters. I wanted to enjoy who they were more and not just the overall story. But that's not the route that he decided he wanted to go. And I kind of had the same experience with my final point here as well, which again is a yellow but kind of a negative for me. I think it's confusing. I know he's doing something interesting that we already mentioned, and I like that he's doing that, and I'm sure it all works. You know what I mean? He's smart enough that I'm sure everything fits together like a puzzle and works. But I'm telling you, in watching this movie, maybe it's on me, I was confused several times. I was confused about where characters came from, what was going on with that character, why we didn't know more about the timing of something. The transitions between scenes confused me a little bit, about moving from, one section to another. I'm being purposely vague because I really don't want to give anything away. Just to sum it up, I was confused a few times, and maybe I just wasn't getting it, but I feel like maybe the editing could have worked a little better to give us the experience that he knew in his head. He knows how it all works and how it goes together. I just don't know that he showed us exactly how it all works and goes together. Overall, Dunkirk is a fabulous, brilliant, gorgeous movie that, because of those interesting decisions and choices, I'm not sure I enjoyed as much as I could have. Still, I really did like it. For me, I give it a B+. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the Best Ever Challenge here in a bit. Before we do, if you want to connect further, maybe tell me why I'm so completely wrong on Dunkirk, you can do that at Twitter. Aaron Dicer, AARONDICER. Love chatting at Twitter. Also hang out on the podcast. It's called SiftPop, SiftPop. We do that every week. It's live on Friday and then should be up by Saturday. Wherever you do your podcast, subscribe and you should be able to pick it up there. Again, it's SiftPop, SiftPop. And if you want to communicate at YouTube, you can do that as well. Leave comments, likes, subscribe. I would love that, heading up towards 2,000 subscribers. I know, it's peanuts, but for me, I can't believe it. It's amazing. So thank you for doing that. Just click the subscribe button. Also, thank you for supporting. That's the other thing I can't believe. People giving dollars, just like you, to keep this Your Movie Friend YouTube channel going. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. $3 a month is where it starts. Some pretty fun perks there, so you can check all that out. Again, it's patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. And thank you so much for your support. All right, on to the Best Ever Challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. What is the best ever movie that includes a city name in the title? So best ever movie that includes a city name in the title. There are a lot of good ones that actually have the names of cities in the title. I'm going to have to go with the one that is also a pretty awesome TV show. Don't you know? Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right does get a point. As always, I'll give you a few extra seconds to hit subscribe. Just click my face.